Hello, class. Today we are going to have a lesson on DC Universe Classics Wave 9. Geez, there's so many of them now. Figure number 6, Black Canary. Now, before I go too much further, we're going to have a look at the package, because that's what I like to do. But, one thing I'd like to point out, if you look at, there we go, the camera can pick it up a little bit. From around, starting at her head and moving out, you can see little shock waves in the plastic. Or maybe, I guess, sound waves would be better. Yes, Megatron. But we have these little sound waves that are coming from her head, I guess, to show the sonic scream that she does. And that is excellent. I'm almost ready to just stop the review right here and just leave it at that. Because that, to me, is just wicked, because they just have so much detail there. No, stay here. I'm not done yet. At any rate, so we've got that, which I'm just totally excited about. I know. On the side here, we can see that it comes with the lower torso, or I want to say the crotch of the Build-A-Figure. That's what it is. And here on the back, we can see the other figures. There's Wildcat, Deadshot, Guardian. I still don't know who he is. I'm going to have to look him up. Black Adam, Mantis. He's so ugly. And, of course, Black Canary. And over here, her dude, the Green Arrow. Wish my wife would let me have a bow and arrow. See, Black Canary's a good wife. She lets her husband have a bow and arrow. What's not awesome about that?
You can't have string.
And up here, we can see Chemo, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to say it, but that's the Build-A-Figure. I have to figure out what that is too. But at any rate, a brief biography on Black Canary. Dina Lance is the daughter of Larry Lance and the original Black Canary, who was a judo expert in the Justice Society of America. Prior to Mom's death, Dina takes up the role of Black Canary and carries on, using her superpowered canary cry. That would make her a mutant, right? But anyways, first appearance was in Justice League back in 1969, so she's getting to be really old too. She is a hero, yeah, we knew that. Based in Gotham City, I wonder if I should have known that. Is she one of the Gotham City Sirens? Someone? I don't know. Class? No? Okay. And her special abilities, she's a kick-ass fighter, and she's got the hypersonic canary cry. Although, you know what, if you talk to Green Arrow... okay, I gotta stop or I'm gonna get myself in trouble. I'm gonna make a joke about a wife nagging and how that's almost as bad. Sorry. At any rate, that was our look at the packaging. See the sound waves? For Black Canary, in a second, I'll open this up and we'll have a closer look. And we're back. We are looking at Black Canary. I'll give you a quick 360 of the figure here just so we can see. Whoa! There we go. And now we can have a little more of a discussion about this figure. One thing that is kind of nice is the sculpt on it is very nice. We've got the kind of wrinkled arms here on her jacket. We can see the jacket is cut off here along the back. We've got that choke chain pendant thing on her neck. I forget what those are called, a choker? I don't know, some kind of, one of those necklaces. Anyways, I don't know these things. And her hair, we can see has a lot of detail in it. The extra color, and we can see someone decided to make it all nice and wavy. That's wonderful. Her hands are in fists, as they should be, because she's going to beat the crap out of people, because that's what she does. The other thing I'd like to point out, actually, we got her boots. I guess we'll talk about her boots more in a little bit later. The other thing I want to talk about is actually the legs of this figure. And we'll compare it maybe to another in a second, but the first thing is that it has the fishnet that Black Canary wears as a separate kind of item. Like, you can shift it around. It's not just painted on. It's actually attached somehow. I don't know how they did it, but we can see here along the back where it's connected together. That is very cool. That's a very neat feature. Probably looks better than if they had just tried painting it. Just looks really cool, and it's a level of detail that I think is really excellent for the figure. Now, in terms of the articulation, that's where we suffer a hit with this figure. The head, we can move a little bit, but I think it's because of how the hair is. Oh, geez. That head is not going to move too much, and it's not going to move at all to the right. It's just not going to happen. Shoulders, we can move up pretty far. We can rotate all the way around. We've got the rotation here at the bicep, bend at the elbow, and a rotate her hand at the upper arm. Well, it's supposed to be the wrist, but it's a little bit higher up. She can still move forward and back there a little bit. At the waist, she can rotate all the way around. The leg doesn't go back at all, goes forward a little bit. We can turn at the thigh, we can bend at the knee, and then we can move the lower boot a little bit, and of course the ankle bends. Now, this figure is lacking a little bit of articulation compared to some of the others. One, there is no outwards motion at all. No backwards motion. And although we can rotate at the thigh, we can't do it too well, and it's because of the stocking or the, yeah, that she's wearing, or the whatever. So I think that was kind of just a design choice. They went, you know what? If we want to put this on here, we can't have the legs move out as much. What you gonna do? And the head, of course, there's almost nothing at all. And one thing, and I've noticed this with a number of the female figures, it just looks really horrible when you try to turn them sideways anyway. It just looks incredibly, incredibly bad. You're better off just leaving them facing forward. But the other thing that is nice about this figure is that compared to some of the other female figures, at least, I hate to say it, the design or the shape is still, it's still good. It doesn't look like she's a stick figure. If we compare her to Cat Matui here for a second, we can see that Black Canary has much larger legs. She's kind of a thunder thighs here, but that's because she's used to kicking the shit out of people with them, and that's, you know, probably necessary. And even the arms, a little bit bigger, and maybe it's partly just the design because of the coat, but they do seem a little bit bigger. And plus, Cat Matui's got that kind of pear-shaped thing going on, and it doesn't feel quite as bad or seem quite as bad with Black Canary here. I guess another thing I'd like to point out with the coloring on this figure, which I even just noticed just now, if you look at her fist, if you can get close, we can see her thumb, we can see nail polish. A little red there on the thumbs. That's very cool. That's a cool amount of detail we didn't necessarily have to have, but it's cool that they put it on there. Now in terms of accessories, there's really nothing. She does, however, come with a piece of, was it chemo? I'm never going to know what to say. She comes with the, was it the lower torso, I think they like to say, because I'll just say the crotch. But whatever. I don't even know which way's front on this thing. Whatever, I'm sure I'll figure that out at some point in time. But that's really it for the accessories. Not a whole lot of posability you can do with this figure, just because it's limited in the legs, and that waist is horrible, I can't stand that. But it does look very, very good. The one thing I do need to gripe about a little bit is the ankle joints, at least on mine. You can see how loose they are, which is not good. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult to stand her up. Fortunately, if I take a second here to grab this, our good friend Green Arrow came with a figure stand, and maybe we'll use that for Black Canary here to help stand her up. So really, with this figure, it looks pretty cool, but I don't think you're going to do a whole lot of dynamic action poses with her. At least in this case, not mine, because some of the joints are not too good on it, and it's limited. Some of the joints are limited, the articulation. If I was going to give this figure a grade, which I will, because that's what I do, I would give this figure a grade of, you know what, a B+. It looks really cool, but some of the joints, not so good. Again, the ankles are kind of weak, and the lack of hip articulation, and you can't really move the head at all. But otherwise, you know, it's a pretty good figure. It's going to look cool kind of standing there, looking like she's about to beat the crap out of somebody, which is awesome. I've always liked Black Canary. But I think that's just going to about wrap up our review on Black Canary. So, thank you very much. Class is dismissed.